I would love for you to, not only are you a fierce advocate, but you are also just so wonderful of giving words of encouragement to people, maybe women that have had abortions already themselves, giving them words of hope. Or I know you also speak to a lot of young people too on how they can avoid those unwanted pregnancies. What sort of words of encouragement do you have for our listeners?
Yeah, I mean, definitely I'm a woman who's had two abortions. So I know that pain of regret and wanting to sort of do things over and change the past. And I always tell women and men who have gone through that. Maybe you've driven someone to an abortion clinic or paid for an abortion. I always just talk about that forgiveness of Christ and the freedom that you can find in Christ. I know that's sort of cliche, but um I remember watching a Kung Fu Panda movie with my daughter one time, and one of the characters said, he was asking another character, he said, "Do you know why today is called the present?" He said, "Because it's a gift." And that just really struck me that, Satan wants us to live in our past. He wants us to live um, in the place that we can't change. And really, we can't change our future either. We don't know what tomorrow holds or the next day. But God really wants us to wake up every day and just live for him in this present, in the gift that he's given us. And he really just wants us to surrender everything to him. And so that's what I encourage people who are maybe struggling with something from their past, to just give it to him and let him handle it. And really, I think, what amazing things God can do with our past. And that's really what he wants to do, is just use it for his glory. And, I was talking at Turning Point this past weekend. I was talking to a group of kids, and it's so true, even for young people. I remember in high school, they would scare us with pictures of, we would have our sex ed presentation. They would scare us with all these gross pictures of anatomy and things and STDs. And they would say, you don't want this for the rest of your life and all this kind of stuff. And I was talking to these kids and I was saying, they never talked to us though about the type of person that you would want to spend the rest of your life with. And, the relationships that we're in now can define the rest of our lives. And, there's no, if we're making decisions that are, ungodly, if we're, in an ungodly relationship now, there's no reason that we can't stop and make a U-turn and come back to God now. And that's for anybody. That's not just for kids. That's for anybody. And, I think that we need to have more conversations, particularly with young people, about child rearing and who do you want to spend the rest of your life with, and who do you want to raise a child with? Because you can make really adult decisions in the bedroom, but are you willing to make an adult decision and raise a child with that person for the rest of your life? And I'm not sure we're really having those important conversations enough. And so I just, I just encourage parents, especially, to start having those difficult conversations with your kids, because if you're not, chances are maybe nobody is, or the world is having conversations with your kids that, and they're directing them in ways that you would not want your children to be directed.